Hello, I'm Mona West and welcome to another beading tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make this earring, which I'm calling Around the World. I have it here in a couple different colors, just to show you some of the possibilities. But I'm going to be making it for you in this purple and silver version today. So let's get started. First I'll tell you about what you need. To make this earring, you're going to need 4 different kinds of seeds. You're going to need 15 O's, 3mm Firepolish beads. You can also use another kind of 3mm bead if you'd like to. For instance, you could use bicones instead of the Firepolish. And then you're going to need 2 different kinds of mini duos. All right, for today's project, I'm going to be using Crystal Labrador mini duos, and these are called Magic Violet. And then these are a purple gold 3mm Firepolish, and these are just a 15-0, I believe they're an aluminum. In addition to these things, you're going to need the following: a pair of ear wires of your choice, a beading needle, I'm using a number 12, and some kind of beading thread. I'm going to be using Fireline. This happens to be a 6-pound, and I'm using crystal because I am using light colored beads. So gather your supplies up and let's get started. I'm starting out with 8 of the Crystal Labrador mini duos, and so I'm going to tie these into a circle on my beading thread, leaving a 4 to 6 inch tail, and I'm going to knot that. Okay, that's going to give you a circle that looks like this. And then you want to take and reinforce that by going back through all of the mini duos that are in there. You're still staying on the bottom hole, the holes that you entered, and just go back through them. This just helps to reinforce it and make the project a little bit stiffer so that it doesn't, it's not too flimsy, doesn't move around too much. Kind of going through 2 at a time, which is pretty easy to do. Okay, now that I've gone back through those, I'm going to step up to the second hole in the mini duo that I'm coming out of. So I'm going to go up to that second hole and go through it. Okay, now I am going to place another Crystal Labrador mini duo in between each of the mini duos that I have already placed in a circle. So I will be just going around in a circle and stitching one in each of the second hole from the first row of the circle that we put in. You can see how that's coming along. I've got 3 of them in there so far. I'm going to put in the 4th. Like I said, this is quite an easy pattern. Probably take you about 15 minutes to make one of these, half an hour, 40 minutes to make 2 of them. So it's a good easy project and makes a really nice looking pair of earrings. And you can make them in all different kinds of colors. I've just ordered some new beads. I think I'm going to make a pair for myself in red and another pair in blue. I ordered a blue Picasso mini duo. Those just happen to be colors that I need, but it's an enjoyable enjoyable and quick pair of earrings to make. All right, there's my last one. I'm going to go through the previous one to secure it. All right, there we go. We have the second row done. Okay, so now I've finished the second row and I've stepped up through the second hole of the bead I was coming out of in this row. So now I'm going to pick up one of the Magic Violet mini duos, and then I'm going to pick up a silver 15-0 and another Magic Violet mini duo. So this is what I'll have on my needle. And now I'm going to go into the next mini duo. So this is what I'll have, and I'm going to repeat that another 7 times for a total of 8 times. A mini duo, a 15-0, and a mini duo. And then I'm going to go through the next mini duo of the previous row. Pull it tight so they're all standing nice and straight and tall. That's really about the only thing you have to be careful of with this pattern, is that you are getting everything standing straight out like it should, and being careful that you don't hook your thread on the previous row. They can kind of stick out and it's easy to get your thread wrapped around them. All right, there is the third batch in the row. So now I'm going to pick up the mini duo, a 15-0, and another mini duo, and I'm going to go through the next mini duo from the previous row. You noticed I still have my tail thread on here. This is getting large enough that after this row I will probably go back and weave in my tail and then cut off the remainder of it. I like to wait until I have a couple rows done. It just kind of gives me something to hang on to until then. But I'm certainly far enough along in the project now that I don't need that tail anymore. Usually when I go back to weave it in, I will tie a couple of half hitches as I'm weaving it in, a couple more just to be extra secure. You don't absolutely have to do that. There's not a lot of stress on it, but I just prefer to be really cautious and not ever have to go back and fix it. Also because I sell my jewelry, you know, if I were keeping something for myself, maybe I wouldn't be quite as cautious, but I hate to think that a customer would have to have a piece fall apart on them ever. So I'm just really super careful about it. All right, now I have gone through, I'm going through the last one now. I'm going to go through the last mini duo from the previous row and the first one from the current row. Now I have this whole row done. I'm going to set it down here for you to see. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back and weave in my tail, and I'm also going to go back around and stitch back through all of this row to reinforce it. Okay, our next step, now that we've reinforced that last row, is to once again step up. Now we're coming out and we have 2 of the purple mini duos here and the crystal Labrador in between them. So we are going to put a number 15 seed bead between these Magic Violet. Those are the purple mini duos in this project. And then for the next one, we're going to put a 3mm fire polish between the next two mini duos. And we're going to repeat that all the way around. So I'm going to take a 15-0 and put it between the next two mini duos. Then I'm going to pick up a fire polish. If I can get one here, they're sneaking away from me. And put it between the next two mini duos. Then I'll repeat again with a 15-0 between the next two, and a fire polish between the next two, and I'll repeat that all the way around. And when I'm done, I'm going to reinforce it again, just to make sure that my circle isn't floppy, because there's a lot of give in this if you don't do a little reinforcing. I found probably a little bit more than you want in an earring. It looks a little funny if your earring is flopping around when it's supposed to be a circle. I was mentioning that I'm going to make a couple more of these for myself, and I must say I really enjoy that when I go to put something on in the morning, and I look at my earrings, like I don't have enough of them. I probably have 50 pairs, but I can look at them and go, hey, I don't have a color that exactly matches this, and I can just make something that does match. So I have some jewelry that matches everything I own. I live in northern Oregon, in Salem, Oregon actually, and we don't have a lot of places to buy beads like fire polish and mini duos and super duos. So I usually order them online, but I am fortunate that there are several, whoops, there goes some of my beads, that we do have several online stores that are actually within a couple 100 miles of here. Fusion Beads up in Washington, and Fire Mountain Beads is just a few 100 miles south of here. Okay, now I've gone all the way around, so I'm going to go around again to reinforce that. I think they're down in Grants Pass. And so even though I have to order them online, I can order them, and you know, within just a couple days they're here. So it's delayed gratification, but it's not very delayed. But although, you know, really, I also order beads quite a bit from Potomac Bead Company, and they're clear on the East Coast, and that doesn't take very long either. It's really pretty quick to order beads, no matter where you're getting them from, even with just the regular delivery, not with rush delivery. Because I'm sure you're probably the same way, that once you've ordered beads, you just can't wait for them to show up. You're ready to try them out and get going on your project, whatever you're ordering them for. Okay, I think I've made my way around here once again. I think that's why I ended up naming these earrings Around the World, because you do go around this circle so many times. And that's feeling pretty firm. That's good. Okay, now the only thing you have to make sure of when you're done is that you're coming out of one of these fire polish beads. And you can see I am right there, because now we're ready. Let me get one of the completed earrings so you can see. Straighten this out a little. The top of the earring is made around one of the Firepolish beads, so that's why you need to be coming out of one, and it doesn't matter which one, any is fine. So I'm coming out of one here. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to pick up 3 of the 15 O's. 1, 2, 3 here. And then I'm going to make, that's going to be the first part of this section here. And then I'm going to make this outer circle. And this time, down here we worked from the inside out. And for this top one, we're going to work from the outside in. And it works just as well, I believe. So next I'm going to pick up 4 fire polishes, 4 of the crystal labradors, and then I'm going to have the 15 O's in between. So let me show you how that's going to work. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to put 3 15 O's on our thread, and then we're going to put on the following sequence: a fire polish, a 15 O, a mini duo, a 15 O, and then we're going to repeat that: a fire polish, a 15 O, a mini duo, a 15 O, and repeat it again twice more: a fire polish, a 15 O, a mini duo, a 15 O, a fire polish, a 15 O, a mini duo, and we're going to end it with a 15 O. All right, so we've got the 3 down on the bottom here, and what we're going to do now, though, is we're going to go back through our original, the first fire polish that is on our needle. So we're going to leave those 3 15 O's down at the bottom there, because they're going to become sort of a stem between the 2 parts of the earring. So when you pull it up tight and fold your mini duos in, now you can see the upper part of your earring. I'll lay it down there so it's a little clearer. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to make the second part of our stem before we go ahead and finish the upper part of the earring. So we're going to pick up another 3 15 O's. All right, I've put another 3 15 O's on my needle. Now I'm going to pick up my work, and holding everything tight, make sure I'm going at the right angle here, I'm going to go back in through the fire polish that we came out of in the big circle, and we started the top part of the earring. Now you can see we have completed that so that we have our stem. Now we're going to embellish our stem a little bit and go back through it. So there are 3 15 O's here. We're going to go through the bottom 15 O, pull it tight, pick up another 15 O, and now we're going to go through the top 15 O. So what we're going to end up with, I got caught on the big circle, pull it tight. So now what we're going to have, you may have to line those up a little bit. See if I can get in a little closer. I don't know how clearly you can see this, but now I have 2 15 O's that are right next to each other on the stem here. And so I'm going to go up through the third 15 O. I'm going to go through the fire polish on the top part of the stem, and I'm going to back out a little ways so that it's not so blurry when I work. pull my thread tight, turn my work so I can see a little better, and I'm now going to go down through the first 15-0 on the other side of the stem, pick up a second 15-0, skip the middle 15-0 like I did on the other side, and go through the bottom 15-0 and back through the fire polish that is on the large circle and pull that tight. And then I'm going to make sure that the 15-0 that I just added kind of lines up next to the 15-0 in the middle on the other that side. All right, so I've completed the stem. Now I'm going to go back up through the 3 15-0s. And I'm going to go through my fire polish and through another 15-0. And one more. I'm going to go through the first mini duo that I come to. All right, now I'm going to turn my work over, and I'm going to go up through the second hole in that mini duo. Now I'm going to make the inner circle for the top of the earring. So for that, I'm going to take and put a 15-0 between each of the mini duos that are already there. So I'm going to take a 15-0. Did I lose my 15-0? Yes, I did. All right, I'm going to take another 15-0. These guys are jumping around on me. Trying to find one that's, these are kind of irregular, so I'm trying to be choosy about the size of the ones I pick. All right, so I'm coming out of this 15-0, and I'm going to go into the next 15-0, pull it tight, turn my work a little bit. I'm going to pick another 15-0. And I'm now going to go into the next mini duo, the inside of that upper circle. Pull it tight. Turn my work a little more. Pick up another 15-0. Go through the third mini duo in the upper circle. Pull it tight. Turn my work again, and now I'm going to add the last 15-0 in the inner row of that upper circle. Pull it tight. Okay, so now I have that finished, but as you might guess, I am going to go off camera for a minute here, and I'm going to reinforce that. And then all we'll have left is to make the loop at the top for the ear finding. All right, I have reinforced this inner circle, and now I have gone around so that I am coming out next to one of the mini duos that are closest to the top of the earring. So I'm at the inner circle, and I need to get back out to the outer circle. So I am going to step up going through this mini duo, and then I'm going to go through the 15-0 next to it. Pull that tight. And then I am going to go through the Firepolish bead that is next to it. And so what I'm doing is I'm positioning myself so that I can put the very top on. Let me show that to you, so that I can put this piece on that the ear wire hangs from. So next I am going to pick up 7 of my 15-0 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, I've got 7 of them now. And I'm going to turn over my work, and I'm going to come around and go through that same fire polish bead from the other side. So what I've done is I've made a circle here. Now I'm going to go back up through 3 of the seed beads, the 15-0 seed beads. 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to skip the middle one, the 4th seed bead, and instead I'm going to just come down through the last 3. I'm going to pull that tight. And then that middle seed bead I'm going to just tug on so that it gets pulled up above the others, and pull it tight. And now I have a nice little loop up at the top that I can use for putting my ear finding through. All right, so now all I need to do, this is finished, all I need to do is to weave my thread through here some more and do a couple of half hitches, and then cut off my thread, and I am done. So that is the earring around the world. As I said, you can make it in lots of different colors. I'm going to make it in a few more myself, and it's a quick and easy project. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please watch more. Thank you very much.